Brian, how long were the Judgment Day together as a group from the time that Edge first took Priest under his wing? Has that been 6 weeks ago? Was it 6 weeks? Maybe 8?
I was going to say, he was doing something else at WrestleMania. He didn't become this until after WrestleMania, right?
Remember, at WrestleMania it was him and Beth, and he was the grizzled old babyface veteran.
So a couple of months at the most. He just got a haircut a few weeks ago.
Can you imagine if they'd had Ole turn on the Horseman after 4 weeks after Arn cut the promo and mentioned the name? Or what? Judgment, for those of you who didn't watch Raw, folks, and consider yourself lucky, because after the Cody announcement and Seth business and this Judgment Day interview, well, after this, I said, fuck this whole show. I don't even know if I want to watch it next week. They come out, Judgment Day, Edge, Ripley, Priest. Edge puts both these people over strong and then introduces the newest member of Judgment Day, Finn Balor. Okay. The guy that we just beat last night now has joined us, and Edge actually asked him, well, Finn, how did you come to this decision? And Finn said it was a calling. He was tired of pretending to be somebody he's not. And he was in awe of Ripley and Priest and how aggressive they were last night. And he spoke to them after the event because he, like they, are tired of being told what to do. I realized at this point that Finn Balor does not need to talk at length. He's getting it out, but he sounds like an Irish Opie Taylor. So finally, then Priest says that, what are you laughing at?
An Irish Opie Taylor, really?
Yeah, if he had a fucking, or he could be Cleon if he had a sandwich in his hand. But anyway, Balor says that, or Priest rather, says that they're ready to shed the limitations that are holding them back, and the last one is you. And he nails Edge. They've turned on the leader of their group after 6 weeks. And apparently now, I guess, will Priest be the new leader, or is it Balor? Is Balor going to be the stooge of a young guy like that, or is now Balor, since he's the veteran, going to be the leader of this piece? And in which case, they're all fucked. They nail Edge, they get heat on him, they give him a razor's edge through the announce desk. Then that goofy fucking concerto business and the chair thing in the mouth with the... If Edge is quitting the business to become a Buddhist monk, this was an acceptable turn of events. But if he is going to spend one more day in the wrestling business, they are completely batshit fucking insane. Crazy as a rainbow trout in a car wash. Couldn't say suey if the hogs had them. I could go on. What the fuck? They've only been together for 6 weeks. Finn Balor is not Edge. By the way, Edge is a Hall of Famer. Remember I said he was, because I didn't remember they inducted him in the Hall of Fame, but I said he's a near Hall of Famer. Well, apparently they did induct him in the Hall of Fame. So he is a Hall of Famer. And Finn Balor is an excellent worker in the ring, but he's never been to the level that Edge has into people's eyes and the way he was used. He is not Edge verbally. He's not Edge mentally. And he's not a Hall of Fame guy. And he's not the guy that put the group together. So now they're just 3 undercard nitwits that were about to get over. At least 2 of them were. And they took the fucking main part of the equation out of it. And now I just saw on the news on the pwinsider.com site that they've moved Edge over to the babyface side of the roster. Did you see this?
I did not see that, but that's exactly what I thought this was happening for.
Well, yeah, but I mean, officially, the morning after, they've moved him over. Like, okay, now he's one of the baby faces. So just tell people, okay, now we just move them around like chess pieces. They're all prawns in the game. But what sense did this make? Why would you do something like this? Unless Edge was, as I said, either going to retire from the business or be injured and out of action for a long period of time. And even then, he could be the group leader. Who the fuck in this group now is going to carry off one of those promos? What is the whole idea of a Hall of Fame major main event level superstar bringing these other people up to his level if now it's just two guys and a girl that are all right at the same fucking level, which is not there yet? Explain this to me, Brian.
I can't explain it to you. I mean, you've touched on what I believe it is, which is probably Vince McMahon panicked after Cody got hurt and said, we need a top baby face. Edge, I have more faith in you as a baby face than Finn Balor.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But now, if he wants Edge to be the top baby face, then these goofballs have just beat him up. So he's got to have a program with them. Then he's got to beat them because they're not the top heels yet. So therefore, you started this fucking group and then you took their leader away and you're going to have their leader beat them on the way to something more important.
Well, things have swung back in favor of the House of Black in this feud between the House of Edge and the House of Black. Suddenly, that's the logical wrestling horror show. But Jim, perhaps if you were watching this horrible wrestling, you didn't want to listen to it after a while. Especially these announcers. Boy, they're awful. That Byron Saxton, he's like the Shivani of Raw. If you didn't want to listen to that, maybe you'd want to listen to some music. I bet you know some great earbuds you can use.
Well, I do. I just wish I knew a good transition I could have used for this spot to make it more entertaining. But nevertheless, we shall push on. Folks, I'll tell you one thing. If you feel like jumping off of a building after watching Raw on Monday nights, don't worry about your Raycons, because the Raycon wireless earbuds, they will last. They take a licking and keep on ticking. You've seen stories on various forms of social media, people talking about their Raycons. They fell 3 stories from a burning building, did not break. The guy's ears that they were in, he didn't make it too well, but the Raycons were fabulous. That you can lose them in rain, you can lose them in snowstorms, you can lose them in an Arctic ice flow.
Why are you saying lose them?
Because that's what the copy says right here in front of me, that Raycon said. You can hear about people talking about them getting lost in rain and snowstorms and still working afterwards.
Oh.
They had to send Admiral Perry all the way to the fucking North Pole. Yes, in order to find these Raycons and his team of dogs, the Mush team, the team of Mush, the dog Mush, crack the whip. And is there a whip thing on here? Hold on. I might have it. Well, that's a gunshot.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, we shot another one of those dogs because they weren't running fast enough to the North Pole. But anyway, the Raycons, that's where I was going. If you want to take a sledgehammer to them, that's your business. I'd take them out of my ears first, because the last guy that got hit in the head with a hammer while wearing the Raycons sounded good again, but the guy kept hearing bells even though they weren't playing bells. Raycon wireless earbuds also have 8 hours of playtime and a 32-hour battery life. They've got the noise isolation mode or the awareness mode, so you can block out the world or you can become aware of the world. I prefer not to be aware of what's going on around me. It's easier that way. And folks, again, you get the same quality audio as the other premium audio brands, but at half the price. Half the price. Of course, they're only going to send you one bud, but for people who are deaf in one ear, it all works out. No, right now, as a limited offer for our listeners, the folks at Raycon will sell you both the earbuds and at half the price of the other premium audio brands. All you got to do is go to buyraycon, that's BUYRAYCON, buyraycon.com/JCE today. And you'll get 15% off your Raycon order. Buyraycon.com/JCE, 15% off. You stick these things in your ears. You listen to whatever you want to. The amazing space-age modern technology, and not only is the sound amazing, and you can hear anything and everything you want to, but also it's amazing the way the government is able to put these little transmitters in these things. You don't even notice it. and it beams the signal up to the space shuttle and back down off the satellite transmission directly to NASA so they can keep track of you wherever you are on the entire globe. It's amazing. Everybody has their own little coordinates, the longitude and the latitude. If you got the attitude for the latitude, they can find you on your Raycons. Have you heard about this, Brian? They gave up trying to implant chips in you through the vaccine because it was too expensive and people wondered what those lumps were in their arm.
That's not what they were doing with the vaccine, and you shouldn't be.
Well, I know that. I know they don't do that anymore.
They never did that. Stop that.
People had lumps in their arms because those transmitters are about 1.5 inches across. So when you had something under you, it looked like a big giant Lego. So instead, they've switched to these where people voluntarily put them in their ears. And then they will also send subliminal signals to make you buy all of our favorite products. Raycon.
They will play your favorite music and podcast, Raycon.
Buy them.